béisbol, juego típicamente norteamericano, comenzó a practicarse en los Estados Unidos hace más de un siglo. Hoy ha alcanzado una gran popularidad no solo en ese país, sino en otros de la América Latina. Las reglas del béisbol cambian con frecuencia, pero el espíritu de noble emulación que anima a sus jugadores no varía. En las escenas que siguen, vamos a ver de cerca la técnica de varios ases del béisbol norteamericano en los diferentes puestos y las tácticas que emplean en las jugadas principales. La defensa en el béisbol. Pitching. El factor más importante en el béisbol es la manera de lanzar la pelota el pitcher, pues de su habilidad en aventajar al bateador depende el resultado del juego. Bucky Walkers, con el pie sobre el borde de la goma, se prepara a lanzar. Usa solo una mano y procura ocultar la bola al bateador. Obsérvese en movimiento lento la soltura de su brazo. Dick Erickson adopta la posición adecuada para contener a los corredores en las bases. Pone el pie detrás de la goma y así evita cometer una falta si tira a una base. Hugh Casey ofrece otra buena táctica para cuando la primera está ocupada. Al mismo tiempo que acerca sus manos al pecho, gira y consigue sorprender al corredor fuera de la base. Veamos cómo se sorprende a un corredor en segunda. El shortstop señala la jugada al pitcher. Ambos cuentan 3 y el shortstop echa a correr. Aquí Head ve la seña que le hace el shortstop indicándole que va a ponerse al lado del corredor. Cuenta hasta 3 y le tira la pelota. En esta jugada, el pitcher lanza la pelota cuando el shortstop echa a correr. Higg ve desde la goma, observa los movimientos del shortstop y tira la pelota cuando éste comienza a correr. Lo fundamental en el pitching es lanzar pelotas rápidas. Se alternan estas con otras curvas o lentas. Las lentas son generalmente pelotas a velocidad media o curvas. Paul Derringer demuestra un dominio perfecto de las pelotas lanzadas con el brazo alto. La pelota, algo alejada del bateador, pasa a poca altura sobre el ángulo exterior del plato. Aquí vemos a Derringer a la derecha de la pantalla y a Davis a la izquierda. Davis levanta el pie y el brazo a menor altura que Derringer. Otra importante función del pitcher es cubrir la primera base. Algunas veces le es posible llegar a ella y recibir allí la pelota, mientras que en otras debe atraparla al mismo tiempo que corre hacia la base. Johnny Vandermeer se vale de este último método porque el bateador bateó la pelota hacia la línea de foul. Obsérvese la curva que describe para llegar a la base. Johnny Podjagani corre en línea recta porque la pelota fue lanzada lejos de la línea de foul. Se para en primera y recibe la bola como si fuera él la primera base. Catching. Saber atrapar la pelota es casi tan importante como lanzarla. Un buen catcher dirige la defensa. Gabby Hartnett señala la jugada al pitcher, Carl Hubel. Después que Hubel ha visto la señal, Hartnett se acerca al bateador, inclinado hacia adelante. Para recoger esta pelota difícil, le basta dar un paso a la derecha. Después se adelanta para devolverla. Clyde McCullough ejecuta la misma jugada cuando la pelota viene hacia el otro lado del plato. En este caso, para recibirla, da el paso hacia la izquierda y para lanzarla, cambia el pie izquierdo por el derecho. Al López demuestra cómo se atrapan los flies que suben cerca del plato. En cuanto el bateador pega a la bola, López se quita la careta y después de ver que no es un foul, persigue el fly. Tira la careta detrás para no tropezar con ella. Harry Dunning va a recoger una plancha bien colocada. Con el peso de su cuerpo perfectamente equilibrado, recoge la pelota y salta hacia adelante para tirarla. Walker Cooper desempeña el papel de catcher en una jugada de out forzado. Le ayuda en ella su hermano Mort. En cuanto el bateador pega a la bola, Walker se coloca en la parte delantera de la plancha. Así puede moverse a uno u otro lado para detener la pelota y devolverla a primera. Ty Muller emplea el método corriente de tocar al corredor. Después que Enos Slaughter batea hacia la derecha del campo, Muller se sitúa en foul. El corredor cree que puede llegar a tiempo deslizándose, pero Muller le gana con un bloqueo perfecto. Infielding. Cada infielder tiene funciones específicas que requieren decisiones rapidísimas. He aquí a Dolph Camilli tirándose a fondo desde la goma para dejar al corredor fuera. En movimiento lento, Bell Young se echa hacia adelante para detener una pelota baja. Frank McCormick ejecuta otras jugadas de primera base. Para pelotas que puedan venir desde cerca del plato, señala al compañero el interior de la línea de bases. Si detiene la pelota cerca de foul y puede llegar antes que el corredor a la base, corre a lo largo de la línea. Pero si la pelota va por el interior del diamante, entonces cruza la base. Si la jugada es apurada, se desliza para poder llegar a la almohadilla. Ahora, McCormick juega en combinación con el pitcher. Al tirar la pelota, da un paso y ésta llega al pitcher justo antes de tocar la goma. La doble jugada es la más rápida y espectacular de todas las jugadas. Requiere exactitud en el tiempo y en la acción. Aquí, Carvel Robel, segunda base, detiene la bola y el shortstop Miller hace el pivoting arrastrando el pie derecho hasta la base. Billy Herman sirve la pelota a Dick Bartel para que éste, como shortstop, haga otro pivot. Después de tocar la almohadilla con el pie derecho, Bartel da un gran salto para lanzar la pelota. Creepy Crespi y Martín Marion ejecutan la misma jugada que este último desarrolla sobre el pie izquierdo. En las jugadas dobles, los movimientos del segunda base requieren precisión y agilidad. Frankie Gustine pasa por encima de la almohadilla. He aquí una comparación de dos pivots hechos por Gustine. A la izquierda se le ve tocar la base con el pie izquierdo. A la derecha, con el pie derecho. Pasa por encima de la goma. El pivot de la izquierda es el más rápido. Billy Herman muestra que un paso afuera puede ser también eficaz. Otros dos pivots. A la izquierda, Herman tira desde la goma y a la derecha desde detrás de ella. También en este caso gana el pivot de la izquierda. Jimmy Brown demuestra el método correcto de tocar al corredor. Acerca su guante al suelo junto a la almohadilla. El corredor mismo, al deslizarse, toca la pelota. Bill Jurges detiene una bola rastrera y la lanza a primera para retirar al corredor. Al correr, inclina el cuerpo. Su posición es excelente para recoger la bola. Lee Handley ejecuta otras técnicas para detener bolas rodadas. En los tiros fuertes, pies, brazos y manos se juntan para evitar que se escape la pelota. En planchitas como esta hay que ser rápido para detener la bola con las dos manos. Merrill May sabe detenerlas por rápidas que vengan. Véase con qué flexibilidad dobla el cuerpo para recibir y vuelve a distenderlo para devolver la bola. May dispara y corre enseguida en la misma dirección de la pelota a fin de tocar rápidamente al corredor. De este modo, una sola tirada basta. Jardineo. Un jardinero debe calcular bien las pelotas altas y dominar los saques largos a fin de devolverlas. Para ver los flies altos, Joe Moore se protege del sol con gafas ahumadas. Lloyd Banner demuestra que para detener una pelota baja es muy conveniente la prontitud en el arranque y la rapidez en la carrera. Banner, sin perder de vista la pelota, echa a correr hacia el punto donde calcula que caerá. Una salida correcta de Terry Moore hacia el diamante. Adelanta primero el pie izquierdo, aunque la pelota viene por la derecha. Así ahorra un paso completo en la carrera. Jimmy Gleason bloquea el paso de la bola con una rodilla en tierra. Se recomienda el bloqueo cuando no hay urgencia en devolver la pelota. El ataque en el béisbol. Bateo. No hay fórmula fija para batear con fuerza, pues todo depende de la habilidad individual. Hay, sin embargo, maneras comunes a todos los jugadores que pueden apreciarse siempre que un bateador da un buen golpe. El batear bien requiere el bate atrás, los brazos sueltos, el pie un poco levantado y un paso corto al recibir la pelota. Después de batear, se deja que el brazo siga su impulso hacia atrás. Joe Medwick desarrolla estas fases agarrando el bate por su extremidad. Nótese la soltura de los brazos al impulsar el bate hacia adelante. Ahora batea Max Best, que sostiene el bate de una manera semejante. Maurice Van Robais lo toma algo más arriba y prueba que para que los corredores adelanten en las bases, este estilo es tan práctico como el anterior. Bill Nicholson batea de otra manera. Una postura cómoda en la plancha ayuda al bateador a dominar el peso de su cuerpo. La posición de Frank de Maré es la que conviene para que el aplomo del cuerpo sea perfecto. Basta un paso corto y el ajuste es exacto. Una comparación de dos bateadores. Johnny Mitze a la izquierda y Mel Ott a la derecha. Mitze mantiene el pie bajo. Ott lo mantiene alto. Mitze da un paso corto y Ott lo da largo. Pero en los dos casos los pies tocan el suelo al mismo tiempo. Planchas. Todo jugador debe dominar las planchas, especialmente para las jugadas de sacrificio. Una plancha importante por Chet Ross. El peso del cuerpo se reparte entre los dos pies y el jugador da a la pelota antes de empezar a correr hacia primera. Danny Litwheeler da una plancha corta. Toca la pelota por tercera y echa a correr hacia primera. Las planchas largas que obligan al pitcher a cubrir la primera base son también eficaces. Johnny Rooker, bateador zurdo, es un especialista en planchas. Véase en movimiento lento cómo el cuerpo se adelanta al bate. Eddie Yost ejecuta el mismo tipo de plancha, pero desde el lado opuesto. Aquí el jugador adelanta el bate para pegar a la pelota. Corrida de bases. El jugador sale corriendo apenas pega a la bola. Johnny Rizzo nos muestra una excelente técnica de salida gracias a un movimiento bien dominado de los brazos. Tira el bate hacia atrás y sale con el pie derecho. Johnny Hop, después de una plancha hacia tercera, avanza por la línea de 3 pies para evitar interferencias con el tiro. En este caso, Harry Kraft, después de una buena tirada cercana a la línea, pasa por la primera base. En cámara lenta puede verse cómo corre separado ligeramente de la línea, inclina su cuerpo al dar la vuelta y continúa su carrera después de tocar un ángulo interno de la base. Stan Hack sale siguiendo la línea. Girando sobre el pie derecho, sale con el izquierdo para intentar un robo. Se desliza y llega a tiempo a segunda. Arky Vaughan dobla la pierna al deslizarse hasta la base. Esto le permite acercarse de frente o de costado y utilizar el pie que toca la almohadilla para estorbar al pivoter en las jugadas dobles. La pierna doblada hace de resorte para recuperar la postura después de deslizarse. En esta jugada, Pepper Martín rodea la base segunda y llega a tercera lanzándose de cabeza. Es una manera menos cómoda que otras de deslizarse, pero de gran importancia en el béisbol. El béisbol es por excelencia el juego nacional de los Estados Unidos, pero no lo juegan solamente los equipos profesionales. Hay millones y millones de aficionados. Muchos aprovechan cualquier solar o terreno desocupado para entregarse a su deporte favorito. Ganen o pierdan, los jugadores compiten con nobleza, que es la cualidad tradicional del béisbol.
Hi everybody, I'm Skip Elsheimer and welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show. So that's an interesting film. It may be beyond it being about baseball and it being in Spanish. So those are the questions. So when we sometimes get a film here at AV Geeks, and this is the Lunchtime Streaming Show if I didn't already say that, when we get a film like this, we don't sometimes have documentation that tells us what this is. And so then we have to kind of look it up, or we have to try to figure out, like, what is it, what's the point of it? Why was this film made, and why is it in Spanish? And, you know, why was it made by who it was made by? And so looking it up here, oops, that's not right. Advanced Baseball Techniques is what it is when it's translated. And so it was made by let's see. It was made by a organization, it was part of the US government, that was specifically making things for Latin and South America. And so I have other films that do this, mostly actually Disney films, that are about hygiene and health. And so this one is about culture. And I don't have 100% that connection to see if this appears on this list, but this is all related to the Monroe Doctrine, which is essentially the United States felt that it was the caretaker of the Americas. And this was an attempt to take American culture that was very popular in America and in the world, and try to propagate it to other parts of the Americas, Central America, Latin America, South America. And so that's what I think this is. And I have two films in this series that are in Spanish, and they're brought to you by those that organization, which was specifically, so it's almost like propaganda, basically. It's American propaganda about the American pastime baseball. So there you go. Kind of fascinating little story. And so that's what this is all about, is we watch films, 16 millimeter films, and we try to figure out, like, why was this film made? Who was it made for? Who made it? And, you know, why? And sometimes the title doesn't really tell you. There's other information that tells you why the film was made. And so that's why we like collecting films, because every film is like this archaeological find. And like, what is this? Why did they make this? Does it have notes that say why? This next film, however, it's pretty clear what it is. We know who made it. We know why they made it. And it doesn't vary much from the script. So this is Eyes and Their Care. I have your eyes in my care. So this is important for me to pay attention to. Enjoy.
Vision is the most important of the human senses. We learn to see only as we practice using the eyes. Simultaneously with the first visual impressions, infants reach for the object with their hands. Vision alone at this age does not give an idea of how far the object is away. Infants learn to judge distance in part by interpreting the stresses and strains of the eye muscles. The degree of convergence of the eyes helps in determining the distance of nearby objects. Familiarity with the size of an object helps in estimating distance when it is beyond reach. We learn to suppress vision when the eyes are in motion. Otherwise, we would have a blur like this, which would cause severe nerve strain. We learn to ignore motionless objects at the edge of the visual field. This helps to concentrate the attention upon the object on which our eyes are directly focused. Glaucoma, brain tumors, and inflammation may lead to a very limited field of vision like this. As we contemplate partial blindness and the blind, we realize more fully the importance of good vision. The brows afford adequate protection to the eyes themselves. The human eyes and the eyelids are things of great beauty and efficiency. The eyeballs are marvelous little cameras. They are globe-shaped and rotate in a socket. These two muscles control the up and down motion of the eyeball. Altogether, 6 muscles control the motion and the position of the eye. The sun is the most important source of light, and it is by reflected light rays that objects in the environment are made visible through the eye. Light entering the eye passes through the cornea, the aqueous humor, the lens, the vitreous humor, eye at the back. Through this same opening, blood vessels, arteries, and veins enter the eye to supply nourishment and to carry away waste materials from the retina. Here, the pulse is in the veins. The front layer of the retina contains millions of perceptor cells, rod cells, shown here in black, and cone cells, shown in white. It is these cells which transform light energy into another form of energy, which is transmitted by the optic nerves to the brain. The light from an object upon which we fix our gaze falls upon a small depression called the fovea, where there is a thinning out of the retina. Here there are only cone perceptors, and each one has its own nerve fiber leading to the brain. These cone cells have to do mainly with sharp vision and color vision. Toward the periphery of the retina, the rods predominate. These perceive dim light and light from the side without color. When the light is dim, the pupil opens up so as to let in more light, and besides, the rod cells become more sensitive, and thus take over the function which the cone cells perform under higher illumination. When we turn off these bright lights, we can see almost nothing. But within a short time, we are able to make out objects in the room. Our eyes have become adapted to the dim light. Vitamin A is necessary for good vision in dim light. The place in the retina where the nerve fibers gather and leave the retina is called the optic nerve. This area is blind because it has no rods or cones. We are not conscious of this blind spot because the blind spots of the two eyes do not correspond and are located in areas of less acute vision. The optic nerves, one from each eye, unite in the midline. Two new nerve tracts run towards the back. Each contains nerve fibers from both eyes. The optic fibers arrive at the primary sight center in the back part of the brain. In babies, the eyes turn in different directions until they learn to regard an object with both eyes working together. The image should always fall on the sensitive part of the retina. For distant vision, the eyes look straight ahead. But for near vision, the eyes turn in. If in looking to the side, the muscle of one eye fails to work, we are conscious of double vision. However, one of the images is dim because in one eye the rays are not focused on the fovea. Eventually, the dim image is suppressed, and finally, this eye may lose its ability to see clearly. In some cases, the good eye may be bandaged so as to compel use of the suppressed eye, and thereby restore sharp vision. The images from the two eyes are slightly different because each eye sees the object from a different position, but the brain fuses them into a single image. Many types of eye defects are caused by improper focusing of the image on the retina. Here, the players are out of focus, while the foreground spectators are in focus. This is nearsightedness, which results when the eyeball is too long from front to back. The focus is in front of the retina. This defect in vision may be corrected by wearing concave lenses. When the eye is too short, the image is formed back of the retina. This is farsightedness. By accommodating the lens, proper focus may be attained, but this stress may lead to discomfort that can be relieved by wearing glasses. An uneven surface in the cornea or in the lens leads to this type of distorted vision called astigmatism. Lenses can be ground to overcome this defect. Bacterial infection of the eye often comes from using public swimming pools, from rubbing the eyes with the fingers, and from using soiled towels. Infections may enter the lid and cause a stye. The mucous lining, the cornea, or even the interior of the eye may also be infected by way of the circulatory system. If a foreign particle becomes lodged on the eyeball, and especially on the cornea, it should be removed by a competent person. After applying a local anesthetic, this doctor carefully works the particle loose and then takes it out. Particles of steel like this may cause severe damage to the delicate membrane. Afterwards, the doctor washes the eye with a suitable antiseptic solution. Radiation from the red end of the spectrum, such as heat from the sun, may penetrate the eye and injure the lens, retina, or nerves, and lead to permanent blindness. Ultraviolet light does not penetrate as far, but may cause injury to the cornea. In this situation of contrasting light, the eye is unable to adjust properly either for the bright page or the dark room. This type of eye fatigue is overcome by having uniform, good illumination in the entire visual field. The eyes need to be protected from all types of physical injury by suitable protectors. Because sight is our most precious sense, we should guard the eyes by proper lighting, proper food, and by preventing disease and injury to this delicate mechanism.
So these early Encyclopedia Britannica films don't have that music fade out. They just kind of stop, and then there's a shot of the rotating encyclopedia globe, and then that's it. We're done. Let's see. What do we got up today? Let's learn how to build a house. Coronet style. Enjoy. That's Encyclopedia Britannica style, actually.
An empty field is a nice place to play. But what's happening here? What are these men doing? These men are surveyors. They are dividing this large field into smaller lots, lots for new houses. The boys can watch the surveyors from the top of this little hill. Wooden stakes mark the corners of each new lot. Soon, other men with heavy equipment begin to level the ground and prepare it for building. In a few months, there'll be houses here and families moving in. The Johnson family will be moving into one of the new houses. Mr. and Mrs. Johnson are discussing the plans for their new home now with the builder. Pam and Jerry wonder what their new house will be like. The Johnsons are pleased. There'll be plenty of room in the new house for everyone. An architect planned the new houses and made these drawings to show what they will look like when they are finished. This drawing shows the size and location of the rooms. Construction plans show exactly how the new house is to be built. The superintendent sees that the architect's plans are followed carefully. He makes sure that all of the work is done well and finished on time. The carpenters are building forms for the foundation. Forms will hold wet concrete in place until it dries and turns hard. Concrete is delivered in big trucks like this one. Concrete is made by mixing gravel, sand, cement, and water. They are mixed in the big tank on the back of the truck. The concrete is wet now, and it can be poured into the forms almost like water, but in a few days it will be dry and hard as stone. The concrete foundation will be sturdy and strong enough to support the entire house. Concrete is also used for garage floors, driveways, and sidewalks. This concrete must be made smooth enough to walk on. When the foundation is dry, the forms are removed, and the plumbers begin putting in the pipes that are needed. These large pipes are drain pipes. The plumbers are melting lead to seal the joints. When two pipes are connected, they must be sealed carefully so that they don't leak. Molten lead poured in the joint. When it cools and turns hard again, it makes a strong waterproof seal. When the drain pipes are all in place, the carpenters can begin work on the floor of the new house. These heavy boards are called floor joists. They have to be strong enough to support the floor of the whole house. The plumbers come back now to put in other pipes. These are water pipes. They too must be sealed so they won't leak. These large pipes are furnace pipes. They will carry warm air from the furnace to every room in the house. Furnace pipes are wrapped with insulation. The insulation will help keep the heat inside the pipe until it gets to the room where it is needed. When all of the pipes are in place, the carpenters cover the floor joist with sheets of heavy plywood. Because it will be under the floors we walk on. Other carpenters build the frames for the walls. The boards they use are called studs. The studs are nailed together to make the frame, then it is raised into place and nailed securely. The carpenters must make a frame for every wall in the house. This is a big job, and it takes a lot of lumber. With many carpenters working, the frames are built quickly and carried into place. Most of the studs they use are cut to length at a lumber yard. But around doors and windows, special pieces must be cut to fit. The framing for the roof is made another way. This is a truss, one of many that will support the roof. Each truss is a large triangle. Braces divide them into smaller triangles, making them strong and rigid. In areas where there is heavy snow, even stronger, steeper roofs are built. When the trusses are covered with sheathing, it begins to look like a roof. But a roof like this wouldn't help much in the rain, would it? Here comes a load of shakes and roofing paper to finish the roof. The superintendent sees that the materials needed arrive on time. This unusual truck lifts the whole load right up to the roof. Roofers cover the sheathing with heavy waterproof paper, then with the wooden shakes. The roofers work quickly, nailing the shakes across the roof. One Sunday afternoon, Mr. Johnson brings the family to visit the new house. They see how much work has been done already. Everyone likes the new house, but Jerry and Pam wonder if there will be other children in the neighborhood to play with. The next day, the bricklayers are busy building the fireplace and chimney. The bricks are held together with mortar, a mixture of sand, cement, fire clay, and water. In another part of the house, a carpenter is building the stairway that leads to the second floor. This work must be done with great care because the stairway will be seen by everyone when the house is finished. In front of the house, other carpenters are covering the outside walls, first with waterproof paper, then with siding. Other outside walls are covered with stucco. The wire mesh helps the wet stucco stick to the wall. The last coat of stucco is colored to make the outside walls bright and pretty. An electrician runs insulated cable through the walls. Wires inside the cable will carry electricity to every room in the house. When the wiring is finished, the walls and ceiling are covered with sheetrock. This material can be nailed in place quickly, and it can be cut easily to fit around doors and windows. Most of the rooms will have hardwood floors. Narrow strips of wood are cut and carefully fitted together. This man uses a nailing machine to nail the flooring in place. Soon the painters are at work, inside and out. This painter stands on a scaffold to reach high places. The paint will protect the wood and make the whole house bright and cheerful looking. The Johnsons' house is finished now, and soon company will be coming to visit. The carpenters have put up the cupboards and counters, the painters have finished their work, and the electrician has connected the range and oven. Remember the stairway? How different the room looks now. There will be work for the whole family, keeping their new house as bright and pretty as it is today. But right now, Jerry thinks the cookies are more important. Pam likes the new house and the new neighborhood. And both children are making new friends.
The empty field is gone, but there's a park just around the corner. It's a fine place to play, and a good place for Jerry to get to know his new neighbors.
Yeah, so the audio on that was weird. Here's my guess. The film might have been a little shrunk or a little warped. And so the soundtrack is on, so the perfs or sprockets are on one side of the frame. And then the soundtrack is on the other side. And so what happens is if it begins to cup, then it doesn't lie correctly with the sound head. And so what I think was happening was you could hear a grrrr. So I think it was also catching the frame line. So you had it was offset, so it was muffled, so it was picking up a little bit of the optical soundtrack, but it was also picking up a little bit of the dark frame line, which was making the periodic grrrr. Someone guessed if it was water damage, and so water damage would be, one, you might see a visual reference to it in the frame, but also you would hear audio, and then you would hear a and then audio, and then it would get closer and closer as the reel got shorter. So some good guesses there. Trying to turn lemons into lemonade with that film. And that was another Encyclopedia Britannica film, and not Cornet. I have another Cornet film lined up. But first, I want to show a film from my from the Telecine. We have this set up. This is a device that we used to transfer that last film, and so the optical sound head is like right here. And so sometimes we have to see what's going on. We're like, wait, why is that not lying flat, or what's going on? Anyways, this film is a promotional film made for dealers, auto parts dealers who have AC Delco parts. And this was something made for the spring campaign of 1973. So it shows some advertising that will be coming up, and also talks about the wonderful new products. And there might be some music in here that would be a good toe-tapping tournament candidates. If you think so, let me know in the comments. So here is AC Delco 1973 Spring Campaign. Enjoy.
Turn on the light, let it glow. Trumpet play bright, start to blow. We're going right to the show. Turn on with AC.
AC presents Turn On with AC, featuring the Spark Plug Twins, Ann Fraser and Sandy Freeman, Miss Oil Filter, Freddie Chapman,
Had your filter checked lately?
Mr. Headlamps and PCV Valves, Don Stroop, and Mr. Caps, Dave Shelley. And special guest star, the distinguished American actor, Alex Karras.
AC or not AC? There is no question.
Brought to you by the wonderful products of AC.
Jobbers and field reps and WDs. Let's take some inventory. AC execs and you retailers, please. Here are the facts we should see. This is the theme. This is the scheme. We're all a team. Follow our lead. We know exactly what you need. We know exactly what you need. We know exactly what you need. Better get tough, business-wise. Better play rough, win the prize. You got the stuff, all you guys, turn on with AC. Customer you can nail, hitting that premium trail. The name of that game is sales. Get on with the deal. Just to your hit, things are fine. Jump in and hit that line. 'Cause this is it, now's the time. Turn on with AC.
Turn on your set, pull up a chair, smoke cigarette, let down your hair. No AC presents the best of the news. A boop-boop-be-doo, nothing to press, nothing to do, only the best, some of the true. No AC presents the best of the news. CDF, news is a mess, the Walter Cronkite suite. NBC is in for me, we get our news upbeat. Ricky Piggy, see what's in store. 73, there will be more from AC. Just the top, we mean the crest of the. Now you all can keep abreast of the. While AC presents the best of the news. Boop-boop-be-doo, up! And now, in line with the modern trends to likable, lovable, fun-loving news broadcast, tonight AC presents its new newscaster, direct from the Fayette Theater. Here's Bozo!
Okay, let's see what's new in the news. Earthquake, train wreck, shipwreck. No, that's not funny enough for this newscast. Oh, here's one. Flash. And for that story, let's go to Rita. Take it.
Dateline Flint, 1972. Warehouse distributors, jobbers, and retailers everywhere in the United States cheered when AC offered them the Accutron watch by Bulova. Warehouse distributors, jobbers, and retailers everywhere in the country are now wearing the Accutron. Some are even wearing them in clusters.
That's a no-no. May 1972, Flint. A gigantic national survey of auto retail outlet and service stations was conducted. What's funny about that?
Tell them why. Tell them why.
Okay. They wanted to discover which is the leading brand of spark plugs and oil filters in the United States.
Tell them the results of the survey.
Results? Who cares about that? Results are just a lot of numbers. You know, Flip Wilson couldn't get laughs with material like that.
Tell them.
The results of the survey. Kill the trumpets! Uncle Bozo really hung one on last night, boys and girls. The results of the survey. AC spark plug and AC filters lead all other brands in all outlets where spark plugs and filters are sold. Lady, what are you doing? You can't stand here and clean. I'm on television.
Oh, you on television now?
Right now, lady. I'm on television telling...
Hi, Harriet. Hi, Florence Jane.
Lady, don't you understand? You can't stand here and just talk to people. I'm telling people about AC spark plugs and the fact that they lead all other brands in retail outlets. And now they're going to get even tougher on the competition.
Well, if they already lead, why are they going to get tougher on the competition? Hi, Harriet. Hi, Jane. Matilda.
The hook. Get the hook!
We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin. For every 104 AC spark plugs a retailer buys during the month of April, he will receive 8 AC Type R45S Acniter spark plugs and 400 prize points free. Jobbers will be able to buy this package of Acniter spark plugs and prize points, a $7.60 value, for only $1. For every 24 AC oil filters a retailer buys during April, he will receive 2 AC Type PF25 oil filters and 400 prize points free. Jobbers normally pay $5.74 for these 2 filters and 400 prize points. But for this April push, they'll be able to buy this package for only $1.87.
This is a hell of a news show, you know what I mean? What we need here is a stripper.
This will keep AC Tough products moving from factory to consumer in greater numbers than ever before.
Who the hell is that talking?
Our survey confirmed that more automotive retail outlets stock the AC brand than any other brands.
Where the hell are you?
Hello?
Hello?
Goodbye.
Goodbye. He's only about that big, too.
To assist AC wholesalers to fully capitalize on the sales-building potential of these promotions and make AC spark plugs and oil filters available in even more retail outlets, we are pleased to announce that in March...
Now that's what I mean by news.
Besides that, AC field reps and warehouse distributors will devote the entire month of March to calling on all AC jobbers, acquainting them with the spring campaign, and getting them ready for the big April retailer promotions.
Get to April. Get to April.
And for April?
Oh, to be in that picture now that April's here.
In April, AC field reps and jobbers will conduct the biggest retailer sales blitz in history, calling on all retail outlets, giving them the opportunity to get their free spark plug and oil filter packages with free prize points when they place their qualifying orders for AC spark plugs and oil filters.
That last blonde, she's really got the points.
Later in the spring, additional premium promotions will be announced for the summer selling season, May through July, which will continue to keep the ball rolling and make AC even tougher on the competition.
Yeah, go to the commercial. The commercial.
And now, we offer you, direct from Paris, some spicy art pictures.
Our commercial. Our commercial.
You and your equipment have to be tough to compete in the Pikes Peak hill climb. Stock car winner Bob Silvers used AC spark plugs. AC's new super ceramic insulator is built tough, tested tough, to keep you going when the going's tough. For quick starts in a smooth running engine, get AC Fire Ring spark plugs. Original equipment on GM cars.
AC keeps you going when the going's tough.
And now, a word from our sponsor. Guess who? I wonder what AC's doing for an ad campaign this year.
Oh, I am nervous, nervous, nervous. I am just one ball of tension, tension, tension.
I have sent for your masseuse, Miss Paradiddle.
Well, why isn't she here?
Yes. Oh, send her right in.
Well, now, who is that?
Your masseuse.
Thank heaven. I've got to be relaxed. It's just too much responsibility.
Yes, I know. Dreaming up a whole new campaign for AC.
I've got to come up with something. It's my big chance, Miss Underwood. A brand new campaign. Something soft and feminine. Tough is out.
No, Tough is in. I'm Max Tough, the new masseur.
You're not Helga. Helga always does me.
Well, I'm doing you now. Helga seems to be pregnant.
Oh, how physical. Very well. It's too late to get someone else, and I simply must be loosened up.
Well, let me loosen you up.
Ah! What are those terrible lumps on your arms?
They ain't bumper stickers.
Why, they're hard as rock. You should see a doctor. Now, I need a line for AC. How about, ladies, here's a durable oil filter made to last through your most intimate moments. Why, you lifted that heavy table like a feather. That phone is driving me crazy.
Let me handle it for you, ma'am.
Oh, I must think. How's this, Miss Underwood? Promise her anything, but give her PCV valves.
It's been done.
Well, hold your body up there, man.
Okay, but promise you'll be gentle. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's very good. No, I must think. Soft and feminine. Does she or doesn't she use AC lamps? No. That doesn't ring. Doesn't ring at all. Oh, my, that's interesting. What are you doing?
I'm massaging your pectoral Gladys.
Oh. Well, make smaller circles. No. I must think. Because we're women, we need more spark in our plugs. Ah! I knew you'd do something like that the moment my back was turned. You know you're making me tenser. Miss Underwood, quick, get me an aspirin. You're an animal. That's what you are, an animal.
You bet your aspirin, lady.
Thanks. I needed that. Do it again. No, I mean it. Do it again. And again, and again, and again. I love the feeling of your strong, tough hands. You're tough. Look at those arms, that chest. You're strong, reliable. Oh, Max, I've been such a silly, frustrated old maid. AC doesn't want to be feminine. Tough is right.
What are you talking about, lady?
It's done a good job all along. Tough is in. Women want a product that's strong, that can take a lot of punishment. They want quality merchandise that can stand up under a beating. Something for their boats in a storm, for their cars on a long haul. Out in the desert, under a tropic moon with the palm trees swaying. My desert is waiting.
I'm embarrassed.
This spring, we expect to cut into competition even more with our biggest advertising campaign ever, with wider audience selection than ever before, and broad-based appeal through a dynamic combination of TV and print. We'll be on TV nationwide every day during April, May, and June on prime-time shows, with commercials such as these.
You and your equipment have to be tough to compete in the Pikes Peak hill climb. Stock car winner Bob Silvers used AC spark plugs. AC's new super ceramic insulator is built tough, tested tough to keep you going when the going's tough. For quick starts and a smooth running engine, get AC Fire Ring spark plugs. Original equipment on GM cars.
AC keeps you going when the going's tough.
You've got to be tough to compete in the Mexican 1000. Your equipment's got to be tough, too. Johnny Johnson uses AC oil filters. They're built tough, tested tough, to stand up to high oil temperatures and pressures. And that toughness is built into the AC filters that go into your car. Next time, get the tough one, an AC oil filter. Original equipment on GM cars.
AC keeps you going when the going's tough.
And we're not stopping there. We'll have ads in the most influential consumer magazines, spreading the word to all car owners about AC spark plugs and filters. We'll have specialty ads which will hypo sales to car buffs, marine and cycle enthusiasts, and hot rodders too. And of course, our trade advertising will tell everybody in this business all about AC's promotions this spring.
When the going's tough.
Not only is the theme tough, the ad campaign is tough too. Just like my Max. Tough, penetrating, and effective. And it reaches the consumer.
Oh, well, that's all the news for tonight.
Oh, no, it isn't. Dateline Flint. Today, AC salutes its warehouse distributors, retailers, and jobbers.
Because you're the greatest bunch of guys AC knows, we love you. Come back and see us.
That's how it ends. We're all done. Hope that our friends all had fun. But that depends. Did each one turn on with AC? This is the word, our concern. From what you heard, did you learn? Have you been stirred? Will you turn on with AC? Gonna get tough and sell, get premium points as well. Gonna go give them hell out there in the field. Turn on the sails, push them through. Good for what ails all of you. Warehouse retails, jobbers too. Turn on with AC.
Gentlemen,
We hope you love the 1973 spring program. We want you to know we intend to help you make it the biggest and most profitable spring and summer selling season ever. We know AC is number one, and we know it has been through the combined efforts, our people and your people working as a team. We will continue this teamwork, a mutual cooperative effort to profit.
What a great film. Big fan of that. It for a couple of reasons. One is it was meant for internal use for the people that worked at AC Delco, the people who sold AC Delco products. It also captures what an incredible zeitgeist Laugh-In was. You know, this, along with some other films that I have in my collection, very Laugh-In-esque. And was that Gary Owens in there? I can't tell. I cannot tell. It's, you know, they gave Alex Karras, they name-checked him because he was football and was beginning to transition over to acting. But, you know, not Gary Owens, I don't know. You know, so Friesen is another film that's trying to capitalize on the zeitgeist and actually has two cast members from Laugh-In, had Artie Johnson and Judy Carn. This one I think is a better deal because it has singing and dancing, and it's just funnier. It's edited funnier. Friesen needed to be edited. Edited better. So somebody commented on Facebook and said that this had a real Bathtubs Over Broadway vibe to it. And so I posted this film when I got it. I bought it on eBay and posted it online. And I got contacted by the guy who was working on the Bathtubs Over Broadway movie. And he wanted to buy the film from me. And I said, well, I'm not really... Well, this is what he wanted to do. He wanted to pay me for the film. Then he wanted me to take the film off of YouTube so that he would have the exclusive copy of it. And I said, well, that's not really how we work. I said I would be willing to make a copy of the film for him, a digital copy, and then he could do with it whatever he wanted. But he wasn't into that. So I very much like that documentary, but that guy rubbed me the wrong way. I like to give access to what I have and not be so exclusive about it, you know. I certainly put stuff up on Internet Archive and it gets borrowed and shown a bunch. You know, I would say that the work that I've done for Internet Archive has launched 100 Roku channels and YouTube channels and the like, because I'm sharing the information. What burns me, of course, is then when somebody comes back and claims that that work that I did, I'm encroaching on whatever work they did, and I'm like, no, look back to your source. Anyways, getting my goat. Speaking of goats, here's a Cornet film about goats. Enjoy.
How you coming with the packing?
Nearly finished, Dad.
Excited?
Boy, and how?
Don't forget your blue jeans. They're pretty handy on a farm.
Say, Dad, is there lots to do on a farm?
Oh, sure. Never a dull moment. When I was on the farm and about your age, I used to have twin goats for pets. We had a whole herd of milk goats. I used to beg my mother for a new baby goat for a pet. Then, one day, I went out to get the herd. I found the herd on the hill. The goats seemed excited. Then I saw why. A mother goat had just brought out her 2 little twin goats for the first time. Baby goats are called kids, and these were the cutest kids I'd ever seen. I picked them up to carry them closer to the house. They were too young to stay in the field. Mother goat proudly followed me. That very day, I decided to name the kids Billy and Nanny. Near the house, I put them in a pen where they'd be safe. Then Billy and Nanny ran to get their breakfast. They liked Mother Goat's milk. I shouted the good news to Mom. But she had seen me coming through the window and brought out some warm mash she had just made. She gave it to me, and I fed the mash to Mother Goat. But it was milking time, so I went back to the pasture to get the goat herd. The leader of the herd saw me coming and started toward me. All the other goats followed. In the barn, each goat had his own stall. I gave them some grain to keep them quiet. Then I closed the bars that hold them still during milking. Soon Mom came to milk the goats. She always wore a clean coat and cap. Her fingers squeezed out the streams of fresh milk. She milked the goats every morning and every night. When Billy and Nanny were 2 months old, they drank their milk from a bottle. All day long, they liked to run and jump. Best of all, they liked to jump off a stand my daddy built. This was good exercise. They jumped and jumped until one day they jumped right over the fence. Goats weren't supposed to be in the yard. But to Billy, the grass in the yard seemed to taste better than the grass in the pen. And Nanny tried the cedar branches. it was time for a game. For fun, they butted heads. This seems rough to us, but goats like to do it. When they do, the hair on their back stands up. And then Billy noticed something strange. Maybe it's good to eat. Kind of tough. Maybe you have to chew it a while. Meanwhile, Nanny decided to take a nap on Mom's clean sheets. Billy kept chewing and pulling and chewing. Whoops, the whole line came down. Then they heard someone coming. It was Skipper. Billy and Nanny weren't afraid of Skipper, but I heard him barking and came to see what was the matter. I led the naughty kids back to the pen. I hoped that this time they'd stay out of mischief. Besides giving milk, goats can pull things too. Every Saturday I hitched old Billy to my wagon and delivered milk for Mom. She put the bottles in a box so they wouldn't tip over. I waved goodbye to Mom. We went up the lane and down the road to the village. One of my stops was Jane's house. She always waited for me in front. She liked to watch the way old Billy pulled the wagon. When we got back home, Billy and Nanny usually came out to meet us. And for the rest of the day, the four of us could run and play.
I like that I can position myself and it makes it look like the light is coming out of my mouth. Alright, so I guess cornet wrong 3 times today. We have so many cornet films and we're scanning so many cornet films that it's almost like, oh, I think I know this title. This is cornet. No. So, sorry about that. I've been miscalling the whole time. Thank you, Nathan, for the coffee. For showing the AC Delco film. Coffee is very much appreciated, and you can buy us coffee and reward us by going to ko-fi.com/avgeeks. You can also go to buymeacoffee.com/avgeeks and buy us coffee there. You can also say that you like us by hitting the thumbs up or the like button or the subscribe button, or you can share this with people. Those are great ways to tell the world that you like what AV Geeks are doing. I very much enjoy borrowing your eyeballs every day, every weekday, and showing you these things, and kind of thinking about them and joking about them and ruminating about, like, why did they do that? So I hope you enjoy it too, and hitting the like button is a way to say that you do. Excuse me, that you do enjoy it. All right, so we'll be back again tomorrow, Friday, and we'll watch some more stuff. Everybody, take care of yourselves the rest of the day, and we will see you soon. Take care.